Mind is like untamed wild horse. It is very difficult to control. The only way to control, the only way to tame is develop mindfulness. By developing the mindfulness, it supports to one-pointedness. One-pointedness support to develop concentration, samadhi. Concentrations mean fixing of the mind in single object. Concentration means fixing of the mind in single object. By development of concentration, may obtain fourfold of blessing. Fourfold of blessings are present happiness, knowledge and vision, clear comprehension through the insight knowledge, and extinctions of all the cankers. Again, the fourfold of blessing. The fourfold of blessings are present happiness, knowledge and vision, clear comprehension through the inside knowledge, and extinctions of cankers. Hello my Dhamma friends, welcome to my next video. Let's follow the Buddha's path. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about what we should do as a good follower of the Blessed One. What we should do as a good follower of the Blessed One. For this purpose, I selected one of discourse called Lesser Discourse on Emptiness. Lesser Discourse on Emptiness, found in Majjhima Nikaya. First of all, let's start with homage to the Blessed One. Namo te purisājanya, Namo te purisuttama, Namo te purisātulya, Namo te purisāsabha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, today our topic already you know. As a good followers of the Blessed One, what we have to do. Using the discourse called Lesser Discourse on Emptiness, now we try to understand about that. This discourse shows how to abide in emptiness. How to abide in emptiness refers to the fruition attainment. Fruition attainments. These fruition attainments means attainments of arahanthood. Attained by focusing on Nibbana, perceptions of Nibbana as empty. This discourse main idea main idea of this discourse is applications of insight, especially impermanent situation, to the attainment of signless concentrations of the mind. Attainment to the signless concentrations of the mind, and thereby winning the spiritual liberation. And the discourse open with Venerable Anandathira is recalling the Blessed One's own abiding in emptiness. He questions the Blessed One about it. Blessed One elaborate it using special set of word you can see in many places of the discourse. Repeat again and again the set of words. And also here Blessed One explain the practitioner should begin with cultivating the oneness or one-pointedness. The common word, familiar word is concentrations or samadhi. For this purpose, in this discourse explain avoiding perceptions on any other things such as village or people. That means if the practitioner stay in the forest, in very beginning he should avoid focusing on beyond the forest. He should limit his thinking, his thought inside the forest. The meaning of this, not to look at in terms of defiled mind, not to look at in society in defiled mind, that means like or dislike, beautiful or ugly, not such thought, but mindfully observe the nature. It's okay. Let's follow the discourse and try to understand it. The discourse mention, yes, the Blessed One. At one time the Blessed One was staying in the mansions of Megara's mothers, Pubbārama Eastern Monastery near Savatthi, India. When it was evening, Venerable Anandathira rose from his retreat and went to the Blessed One. Venerable Anandathira went to the Blessed One, and after saluting he asked this from the Blessed One. Venerable Sir, when the Blessed One was living amongst the Sakshan in Sakshan's town called Nagarika, I heard and learned this. What is it? Even now, Ananda, I am the one who much devoted in abiding in emptiness. Even now, Ananda, I am the one who much devoted to abiding in emptiness. Have I heard this correctly? Grasp this correctly? Attend to this correctly? Remember this correctly? Venerable Anandathira asks from the Blessed One. Blessed One replied, certainly, Ananda, you have heard it correctly, grasp it correctly, attend to it correctly, remembered it correctly. Blessed One said. And also Blessed One explained, even now, as before, even now, Ananda, I often attend to abiding in emptiness. As before, even now, I often abiding in emptiness, Blessed One said. And then Blessed One explained the suitable conditions, situations for that purpose, showing the monastery. Ananda. This mentions of Megara's mothers for Barama monastery, empty of elephant, horse, mares, cattle, empty of silver and gold, empty of gathering men and women. Blessed One explained. So we can imagine how quiet, calm that place. Then Blessed One said, the non-emptiness is one is dependent on the perceptions of the community of monk. Meaning of these, as a good teacher, have to look after the disciples, pupils. Other than that, nothing much to think. Always Blessed One in emptiness. Also said, so too Ananda, a monk not attending to the people, not attending to the village, especially cities, people and village, because at that time they stayed in forest monastery, so they control their thought inside the forest. Beyond the forest, not allowed to wander his mind. Control, that means train mindfulness. When the monk attend and focus on the perceptions of the forest, their mind plunges into the perceptions of the forest. Brightened with the faith, become steady and resolute, Blessed One said. So, when his mind brightened, steady, resolute, he knows this. The disturbance, whatever there might be on account of people, on account of village, there are none here. Only the disturbance is one is dependent on the forest, perceptions of the forest. One is dependent on the perceptions of the forest. Then you can understand how the beginner should control their mind, their thought, if need to develop oneness. And then Blessed One explain further this next steps. Monks not attending to the village or not attending to the people, not attending to the forest, but monks attend to the oneness dependent on the perceptions of earth, To explain this, Blessed One used simile of bull hide. What is it? The simile of bull's hide means the bull's skin, which is not crinkled or any damage, scratched with using 100 sticks. I think it is easy to you, my friends, if you imagine the drum surface of the drums, evenly flat, not any crinkle. Using this simile, Blessed One said, the surface of earth, even so, surface of earth should not any such line or thorns or stones and muddy place, slope, not focus on that places. As a sign, as an object, use evenly flat surface and focus on it. I think now you can understand the meaning of this, because almost all of you, my friends, our great teacher, most venerable Achinda Sayadaw students, or most venerable Arya Dhamma Mahathera students. So you have heard a lot of Dhamma discussion and Dhamma talk. Sometimes you have practiced this. This is nothing else. This is about Earth Kasina. So the Blessed One very briefly explained here. The monks focus on the perceptions of earth. When he focuses on the perceptions of earth, his mind plunges into the perceptions of earth, and brightened with the faith, becomes steady and resolute. When his mind is brightened and steady and resolute, he knows this. The disturbance, whatever disturbance there might be on account of village, on account of people, on account of forest, there are none here. Only the disturbance is the oneness dependent on the perceptions of the earth. He knows this. Also, he knows this field of perceptions is empty with the perceptions of village, the perceptions of people, the perceptions of forest. Only the non-emptiness is the oneness dependent on the perceptions of earth. Meaning of this, his mind always in that object, not wandering. So calm his mind with that, peaceful his mind with that object, earth. Then he regards what isn't there as empty and what still remain in his mind. Knowing that, then he realizes this realization is, Blessed One explained, truly real, undistorted, utterly pure, and descend into the emptiness. Then as a next steps, Blessed One explained about a formless state of mind, that means formless states of jhana, concentration, that means immaterial jhana. But I think you have heard, using object of earth, when you practice earth kasina, it is you can develop using that object, develop jhana, the concentration, samadhi level up to the fourth jhana. First jhana, happy feeling. Second jhana, happy feeling. Third jhana, happy feeling. And fourth jhana, equanimity feeling. Even though here Blessed One briefly explained about just focus as earth, the real meaning is, the deep meaning is, the practitioner has to practice, develop his mind up to the fourth jhana level, because the fourth jhana, the feeling is equanimity, and immaterial jhanas, all the immaterial jhanas, feeling is equanimity. If one develop up to the fourth jhana, the material jhana, only can develop immaterial jhana. So remember, even though in this course explain only the earth, the word earth, the practitioner had to practice up to the fourth material jhana, fourth jhana. Then Blessed One explained, the monk not attending to the earth, not attending to the forest, but attending to the oneness dependent on the perceptions of base of infinite space. Oneness dependent on the perceptions of base of infinite space. Immaterial jhana. First immaterial jhana, which is called in Pali Akasanang Chayatana. When he focuses on this, his mind plunges into the perceptions of base of infinite space. Brighten with faith, become steady and resolute. So he knows this, whatever disturbance there might be on account of forest, there might be on account of earth, there are none here. Only the disturbance is the oneness dependent on the perceptions of base of infinite space. So he knows this field of perceptions is empty with the perceptions of village, people, forest and the earth. The only non-emptiness is the oneness dependent on the perceptions of base of infinite space. So his regard what isn't there as empty and what still remains. Blessed One said, this knowledge is, this realization is truly real, undistorted, utterly pure and descent into the emptiness. In this way, one by one, Blessed One explained all the immaterial jhanas too. You know, first one, the perceptions of base of infinite space. Number two, perceptions of base of infinite consciousness. Number three, perceptions of base of nothingness. The fourth one, the last one, is perceptions of base of neither perceptions nor non-perceptions. Blessed One by one, explain in same manner. When the monks focus on the oneness dependent on the perceptions of the base of neither perceptions, no non-perceptions, his mind plunges into the perceptions of neither perceptions no non-perceptions, and brighten with the faith and become steady and resolute. So he knows this, whatever disturbance there might be on account of earth, might be on account of nothingness and all other immaterial status, there are none here. Only the disturbance is oneness dependent on the perceptions of base of neither perceptions nor non-perceptions. So he knows this. This field of perceptions is empty with the perceptions of nothingness and all other above, and only the non-emptiness is the oneness dependent on the perceptions of base of neither perceptions, none, no perceptions. Then as the next steps, Blessed One explain about signless concentration. Signless concentration. It's mentioned in this discourse as amongst not attending to the nothingness, perceptions of base of nothingness, not attending to the perceptions of base of neither perceptions nor non-perceptions, but attend to the perceptions, oneness dependent on the perceptions of signless concentrations of the mind. Signless concentrations of the mind. Again, signless concentrations of the mind. What do you think? Signless. Can it be happen? I think you know the meaning of mind is called chitta in Pali word. The functions of chitta, the mind, is recognize the object, recognize the sign, know the sign. So the mind arises to recognize the sign. If there's a signless, there can't be the consciousness, can't be the mind. Then why the Blessed One used this word in Pali, sunyata, the word sunyata, that means signless. How do we realize this, understand this? Up to this, Blessed One always explains some kind of sign, because to develop concentration, samadhi. In beginning, I explained the meaning of samadhi, the concentration, fixing of the mind to the single object. Samadhi, concentration means fixing of the mind to the single object. For that purpose, we have to develop one-pointedness or oneness with mindfulness. Up to this level, explain about that. Here, explain about signless. That means, up to this level, Blessed One explain about tranquility meditation, samadhi bhavana, to develop jhana. Now, signless means actually there's a sign, but not fixed sign, fixed sign. Always in inside meditation, the sign is changing. That means whatever thought arises, we analyze. When analyze the object, always it's different objects. Therefore, as it is not stable, the fixed object, here the word use signless. That means using this word, Blessed One explain about insight meditation. After develop tranquility meditation, samatha, samadhi, then definitely we have to train our mind for insight. That's why in this discourse, Blessed One explained this. So let's see how the Blessed One explained it. The monks not attending to the neither perception base of neither perceptions, none nor perceptions, but monk attending to the signless perceptions of signless concentrations of the mind. Blessed One explained like that. When he focus on signless concentration, that means when he practice insight, whatever object found in the six bases, we analyze as material, kalapa. We analyze the consciousness as mind movements and fire aggregate, like that. And also focus as impermanence, especially in this discourse show this impermanent nature of all the conditional thing, and suffering and non-self in other places you can see, but especially in this discourse show about impermanent situation. Anyway, when he focus on the perceptions of signless concentrations of the mind, his mind plunks into the signless concentrations of the mind and brighten with the faith, become steady and resolute. So he knows this. Whatever disturbance there might be on account of neither perceptions, none nor perceptions, or the perception of nothingness, there are none here. Only the disturbance is connected with six base, dependent on this body and conditioned by life. That is the only disturbance in that state. So he knows this field of perceptions is empty, with the perceptions of neither perceptions nor non-perceptions or nothingness, and only the disturbance, only the non-emptiness is connected with six base, dependent on this body, conditions by life. He regards what isn't there as empty and what is still remaining. So this realization, Blessed One said, truly real, undisordered, utterly pure, supreme and unsurpassed. Then the Blessed One explained the next steps, the last steps. Not attending to the perceptions of nothingness, not attending to the perceptions of this of neither perceptions, but attending to the signless concentration. When he focuses on these continuously, his mind plunks in to the perceptions of signless concentrations of the mind, and brighten with the faith, becomes steady and resolute. So he knows this. Signless concentration is conditions and volitionally produce. Whatever conditionally and volitionally, whatever conditions and volitionally produce is impermanent and subject to end. Whatever conditions and volitionally produce is impermanent and subject to end. He realized this. When non-N sees this, mind liberated from all the cankers, cankers of sensual desire, cankers of becoming, cankers of ignorance. When the mind is liberated, stop rebirth. So, holy life have been lived. Whatever need to be done as a disciple, real disciple, have been done. This is the last life, no any other life. He understood. Also he knows the disturbance on account of neither perceptions, no perceptions or nothingness. There are none here. Also the disturbance, whatever disturbance on account of canker of sensual desire, canker of becoming, canker of ignorance, there are none here. This field of perceptions is empty with all those disturbances. Only the disturbance and non-emptiness is connected with six sense base, dependent on this body and conditions by life. And he regards what is in there as empty, and what is still remain. This realization Blessed One explained, utterly true, undistorted, truly pure and supreme, unsurpassed. Truly real, undistorted, utterly pure, supreme and unsurpassed. Finally, Blessed One emphasizes, whatever ascetic or Brahmin in past who attained to the emptiness, supreme emptiness, unsurpassed emptiness, he attained in same truly real, undistorted, utterly pure, supreme, unsurpassed emptiness. That is Nibbana. And whatever reckless of Brahmin in future who will attain to the emptiness, supreme, unsurpassed emptiness, will attain to the same truly real, undistorted, utterly pure, supreme, unsurpassed emptiness. Whatever ascetic or Brahmin know in present abide in emptiness, supreme emptiness, unsurpassed emptiness, he attain this same truly real, undistorted, utterly pure, supreme, unsurpassed emptiness. That means there are no any other supreme, unsurpassed emptiness than this. Finally, Blessed One advice for all of us, determine and train your mind to abide in this emptiness, supreme, unsurpassed, Blessed One said. So, as a good disciple, good follower, we have to do that if need happiness. if we summarize this again, Blessed One and Arahant always in signless concentrations and abiding in the emptiness. So as a good disciple, we have to train our mind for that purpose. As a beginner, as good practitioner, begin with cultivating one-pointedness and concentration. Concentrations mean fixing of the mind in single object. For that purpose, we can use many objects, different kind of object Blessed One has taught, but here mentioned about earth kasina. But before that, we have to train our mind to thought, limit our thought. Then after develop tranquility meditation samadhi up to some level, according to this discourse, up to immaterial jhana, then can practice insight meditation, impermanence, non-self and suffering nature of the conditional things. But especially in this discourse, priorities has given to the impermanence nature. In this way, one can develop his mind up to the supreme unsurpassed emptiness. Blessed One said to train this. So we are lucky. We have born in such a good teachers, sasana, and we have found good teachers, and we have trained under them, under the guidance. We have trained under the guidance them. So if we try, we can do this. So my advice is, don't waste your time. Try to practice and see this happiness. Okay, my friends, I would like to share this merit with all of you, my friends, by the power of merit, what I collected through giving this Dhamma discourse. May you all be happy, and may you all good wishes successful, and may it cause strong foundations for the attainment of Nibbana. So my good friends, we'll see next time with such a Dhamma talk in another topic, and till that I'll stop from here. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.